Atlanta-based logistics giant UPS is planning to cut up to 30,000 jobs this year. We learned tonight that the company started its reduction plan late last year. Atlanta News First, Bridget Spencer is live from the UPS customer care facility. That's in Southwest Atlanta. And Bridget, what does this mean for some of those employees?
Well, Tracy, a lot of people will be affected by this in some way. However, UPS told me over the phone today that they're working hard, working diligently to help those people out. In fact, this facility right here behind us on Marvin Miller Drive will be one that's closing. Atlanta-based UPS announced they're cutting up to 30,000 operational jobs in 2026. We're talking about jobs like drivers and those who load trucks in the warehouse. Last year, the company said they were working to reduce their dependence on their biggest customer, Amazon, and focus on other industries. The CFO saying the job cuts will be made through a voluntary buyout and mostly through attrition.
One was the tariffs on low dollar value items coming from China. And then number two is the winding down of the Amazon business. Both of those lines of business were probably pretty low margin. And so this will improve the profitability of UPS.
Doug Bowman teaches marketing at Emory University and has closely followed what UPS is doing. A UPS rep told us a lot of this also has to do with automating certain jobs.
The logistics industry obviously is going under as a lot of pressures for automation. We see in the popular press, Amazon is very good at giving us sound bites about how automated their warehouses are. It puts a lot of pressure on companies like UPS.
Okay, so as I was stating in other videos, the video that I just did as far as Amazon layoffs and how they are an adaptable company, and in their warehouses they now have a lot of robotics and automation going on. Other companies look at this and like I said, they try to take a little piece out of their book and apply it to their business. So with UPS is cutting up to 30,000 operational jobs, and they're either going to offer buyouts or attrition. So you'll just be laid off. And I remember when I was working for UPS, it was like you like were like a part of a union, kind of contracted to work there, things like that. So not really a lot of safety as far as the job is concerned. It was only maybe like 4 hours a day, and I mean, we got paid every week if I'm not mistaken, but very, very physical work. I can tell you that, unloading trucks, and that's the part that I had came in on, was unloading trucks, and you just had to go in there and get to it. But people who are working these jobs, they have to understand that these days jobs aren't forever. In days of old, you could have a job and keep that job for 30, 40 plus years. It's just not like that these days. So you have to make sure that you're prepared for when changes come and when changes arise. Easier said than done, but the bottom line is, man, you have to be prepared and you have to be ready for anything that happens and anything that comes. So definitely unfortunate, but they're trying to make sure that they're going to be profitable and able to stay a company. And one of their main clients was Amazon. And as he was describing, it was very low margins as far as shipping Amazon packages for UPS. So, because they have to work out a certain deal to where, because there's going to be a large volume of packages that's going to come from this one client. So they have to work out a certain deal versus, you actually taking your packages, or, being a small business and taking your packages to a UPS store, and the charges are going to be a lot different because your volume isn't going to be as much as like an Amazon. So, and they're looking to go into other sections of business and things of that nature. So we'll have to see what that is because they didn't disclose that information. But AI and automation is more than likely going to change UPS's whole business model. And this is the facility in Atlanta, And if it's happening in Atlanta, it's going to happen in other places. I know there's a hub in Greensboro and some several other places, of course, UPS hubs. So you got to know that changes are going to definitely come, and I wouldn't sit around and just wait for my hub to say, "Hey, we're announcing like unloaders, loaders, drivers, to announce that they're going to be doing layoffs." Got to get your resume ready. Make sure that you put skills on there that again either work alongside AI or can't be replaced by AI. And if you don't have those skills, if you're getting a buyout, now's the time to put some of that money towards getting your skills together. You know, again, the new job market in the next 5 to 10 years is gonna be crazy. And I think with it not being a lot of jobs being offered and not a lot of opportunities that are gonna be out there on the table, the unemployment rate could be high unless people really learn how to adapt and get themselves together and get themselves prepared for what is to come. Because, right now, if you really pay attention to this type of stuff, they're telling us automation, AI. That's the main thing that these companies are focused on. And if you're not able to work alongside that or, maintain those type of, machines and systems, then they don't necessarily have a place for you. And if there is a place or position for you, it's going to be a very small quantity. So that's just where we're headed, And everyone's not going to be able to go out and start them a business, or everyone doesn't have the entrepreneurial spirit to go through the ups and downs of having your own business. So you got to get your skills together. It's just as simple as that. And a lot of times, going to a trade school, vocational school, it doesn't take you long, maybe, a year or two, depending on, what type of skill you're going for. You get that skill, then you're out here earning. So we'll see. We'll see what happens, and we'll see, what becomes of this whole thing here. Let's see if they have any more on this clip.
UPS will be closing their facility on Marvin Miller Drive in Atlanta. In a statement, they tell us, quote, all affected employees are being offered positions at nearby locations. UPS remains one of the leading employers in the Atlanta metro area with approximately 12,000 employees, and we are committed to supporting our employees throughout this process.
UPS is a well-run company. I would trust that they'll do their best if they can move the employees to an alternative location.
So that's some good news. They're looking to, move some employees to other locations. They're being offered other jobs at other locations. It could be, one of the retail locations or maybe another hub. And, that's good news. So, all is not lost. You just have to, again, be adaptable and always ready for change because change is inevitable. But I'm going to go ahead and close out this video. If you guys like my content, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. This is Justin Paul. Peace.